Hey everybody, I'm Dominic from askmediy.com. In this video, I'm going to show you how to replace a Anode rod that's in your hot water heater. Now over here we have a gas hot water heater, and here is an electric one. I mean, generally you can tell because one's got a gas line going to it and the other one's got an electric one. Anode rod, just so you know, this is what it looks like. This is what they call a flexible one. I mean, it's not really flexible, but you can bend it at these points here, which when coming out, because they're going to come right out of the heater, and if you don't have enough room to put it in because you're sealing, you can kind of give it a little bend and, you know, help it in. Anyway, what they're made out of is a soft metal. In this case, this is aluminum. Why do you have it in your hot water heater? Easy. Because the acids in the water, so if your water is high in acidics or something to that effect, I'm not a water guy, can't tell you. I can tell you what it does, it eats the aluminum rod the minute you put the new one in and start using it. And it takes, you know, quite a few years for it to start eating away. But if it doesn't eat the rod, it's going to eat everything else in your plumbing of your house, your faucets, the rest of the hot water heater. You know, really not good. So you definitely want to replace these. If you are experiencing a grit, like a sand maybe, or little grits in your water, obviously the hot water side, well, you might want to just replace one of these. I bought this one. This was I think $17. I mean $17, a little Teflon tape, and a lot of elbow grease, and 10 minutes it's done. First thing you want to do, if it's a gas hot water heater, turn it on, turn it off, turn it on vacation, really lower it down. Electric hot water heater, in this case you have a switch on the wall, so we just flip the switch off. On every hot water heater you have a little petcock. You can drain the water out of it. You don't got to drain all of it, but you know, a couple gallons, and definitely turn the hot water on, release the pressure. Obviously first, in this case we have a valve way up here, which is going to turn the cold water supply off to both heaters. In this case, you know, in this case the two heaters, so you don't have any more cold water going in. And just take a couple gallons out of it. Run a hose like we did out the backyard if you can, if not a bucket, or make a mess. Either way, you don't want that water too high in there, especially with the pressure, okay? Now, pulling one of these out is not that easy. It's easy, but it's not that easy. I mean, you need some good, strong arms. All right, check it out. Come over here and take a look. On your hot water heater, and okay, in this case, it's electric hot water heater. Every one of them is either have a plug like this, you know, you pull the plug out, look around. In this case, ours is right up on top here, and you can see. So we're going to use an 1/1/16, and that's the size you're going to be looking for. 1/1/16. Don't try to use anything else because it ain't going to work, and they're in there really tight. Now, I already cracked this one loose before, so it's hand loose right now. Normally you would use a breaker bar, and we're not talking some little thing you work with on your lawnmower or something with. We're talking a man's tool, okay? And like I said, I already broke this one loose. This one wasn't that bad on the electric heater, but it was definitely tight. When you start loosening these up, it's so tight that the heater's going to want to, you know, spin out of control. You got to watch it because all your plumbing, gas lines, and all that, you end up breaking them. So you want to get somebody else to bear hug this and turn in the opposite direction that you are and take it out. Okay, I already loosened this one up, but so check this out. Let's see what this thing looks like. It's coming. Oh, check it out. There you go. Look at that puppy. Is that corroded or what? Stink like shit too. Look at this thing. It's falling. Look at this. See all the grit on my hands? Just by touching it. It's like sand, right? It's not sand. It's crap. Well, not real crap. All right, check that out. Look at that. Look how corroded that is. And yeah, compared to the new one, okay? Smelly ass shit rod to nice. We'll throw that one out. To a nice clean one. Of course, let's take the label off of it. Okay? We don't want to find that label when we're taking a nice hot shower someday. The threads. These are 3/4 threads. We're going to put some Teflon tape on it and basically just put the new one back in. How do you put Teflon tape on? That's probably a separate video, but we're going to show you on this one anyway. Real simple. Grab your Teflon tape. Now, You know that little saying, lefty loosey, righty tighty, or some crazy shit like that? Okay, so in this case, we're going clockwise, so the right way, okay? So just remember clockwise. Well, we're going to go the same way with the Teflon tape. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, so here's our Teflon tape. We'll go on, spin it around, grab the end of it there. And you're just going to put a couple layers on it. Pull tight, like that, like that. So now when we go on, when we start going in, the threads are not going to, it's not going to catch our Teflon tape and go the other way. So we want to make sure you spin it on right. Okay, check it out. All right, this is a flexible one. I got it bent a little bit to help clear our sealing. Right back in our hole. Nice and clean. Doesn't smell. Okay. Now, this is where we want to be careful. Put it on. You want to grab these threads by hand. You want to make sure they catch nicely. All right, remember, you have a long ass rod hanging on it, so it's going to want to move it like this, and it's moving in water. It's not like just putting a bolt on. It's not all that easy. So I mean, this thing has, and look, I can move it like that. We don't want to do that. So just want to make sure that grabs nice and it grabs the threads. And once we grab the threads, and then we're going to finish tightening it with our man tool. And we're not going to tighten it as tight as it was with it coming out, because that would just be insane. You want to tighten it down. So let me go catch these threads, because they're not catching too well. All right, take a little while. Alright, feel tightening up. Still go more. More. At least I'm not putting a crazy amount of muscle in it. But I am feeling it getting tighter. Tight. If I could still move it, still want to do, more. Remember, because it'd start leaking on me. You don't want that. Yeah, a little bit more. Okay. And done. Look at that. So now, all that's off there. Actually, I closed and removed my hose off this one. So basically, all I have to do now is just turn the water on, let it fill up, heat up, turn our switch on, and we're good. Now we're not going to have any more grit, for at least for a while now, in our hot water side, and hopefully our water that was stinking pretty bad, almost like an egg odor. And obviously, if you look at that, that's nasty. Anyway, that's how you replace these anodes. You do have one, no matter what you think. Our gas hot water heater here, which is a direct vent, I actually had to remove this whole thing on top of the hot water heater to actually find it, because it was under it. So you do have one, so don't email me, tell me I don't have one. You do. You just got to look for it, okay? It could be on the caps, whatever. Remove a little the spray foam insulation, remove some of that. You're going to find it. Well, is it worth replacing on your hot water heater? I don't know. How old is your hot water heater? I mean, normally it's for the life of the hot water heater, but if you have high acid in your water, and that stuff's going to eat it away, well, obviously, replace that before the whole heater. It's a hell of a lot easier, cheaper, and the whole bit. Anyway, I hope you learned something. I did. Shit stinks. I'm Dominic from askmediy.com. Thanks for watching.